Hi guys, it's Ray. We're going to do a new tumbler today. This one's going to be pretty quick and easy and straight to the point because we are going to do a vinyl wrap from Butterfly Lane Designs. This is the bloodstains are red, ultraviolet lights are blue. I watch enough murder shows, they'll never find you. And I am just going to go, not on that cup, on a 20-ounce skinny sublimation tumbler, because it's already painted white. So we're just gonna use that. Yes, it's got hog writing on the bottom. It's fine. I may just go quick. I don't really want to go outside and paint because it's cold. It's kind of about thinking about just painting the bottom bright yellow. So maybe I'll run and do that quick. I don't know if I want to do yellow or red. Red's so hard to match up, though. Maybe I'll do red. I don't know. I'm going to come back in a minute with the base painted. I could just do gray, because there's gray at the bottom. We're also going to do a topper for this one. So in order to do that, I need the slide out. Some people just slide the slides open and work over the top of them. I don't like doing that. I like the slide out. And sometimes they are easier to get out than others. And so if you can't get your top out, you may have to push through. And sometimes you have to do it with a lot of force. Lid didn't crack, so we're good. I did get a piece of gold glitter in it, but that's okay. Sometimes they'll just pop from the side because it's just these two little pieces. If you had the right size pliers, you could probably actually just pinch it, but yeah, I don't have that handy. I have little ice cubes, you know, acrylic vase filler, and I have my assortment of, you know, stabby utensils. So those are going to be for my lid. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is cut down the vinyl. Yep, see, that's still too tall. Just a dry fit. See, it's going to come down that little lip a little bit if I leave it like that. And I probably got enough play to cut this little piece of white off. Hopefully. That's going to be perfect. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so I'm ready to wrap the cup and do the lid. I'm going to set an anchor on here. You can get these printed on clear vinyl too, which would make for a really cool glow tumbler. Mine just happens to be printed on white, so we're not doing that. I have my big squeegee ready. Our weather is terrible this week, so even getting this spray painted was difficult, to say the least. And these wraps usually go on super easy. And that is pretty near perfect, so yay. We are going to get our lid ready. I'm just going to use these little gems. I did find the rest of my stash. So I do have some bigger ones this time. And what do we want for... a saw. I don't think I want the saw. I think I'm going to go with the cleaver and the butcher knife. And I like to stuff a little piece of a silicone straw in the mouth opening when I do these, just to help prevent anything from going in there. So you kind of gotta squish them and play around with it to get them inserted. There. So I'm going to get some epoxy mixed up. We're going to get a coat on the cup. And then we're going to do this. And I think I'm going to tint the epoxy red using just resin dye from Amazon. This will leave it kind of... Will it leave it opaque? Should I do ink? Will it leave it translucent or will it turn it opaque? I'm not sure. And these aren't even open. Hopefully the ruby will be a better fit. Yep, we're going to go with the ruby. Okay. So, I am going to get my epoxy mixed up. I'm going to actually get the cup over to the turner and we'll put a base coat on that too. Because we are also, I don't know if I mentioned this, we're going to do a little bit of a red drip on the tumbler itself. Okay, epoxy is mixed. I am going to get a thin coat on the tumbler itself. And then hopefully get the lid done or at least the base layer of the lid. We're not obviously going to do the drip while we're doing the base. Just going to scoot the tumbler out of the way. I'm just going to go ahead and work right here for the lid. So I'm going to mix some of that ruby in. I'm just going to start with 2 drops because I don't want it like red. I still want it like translucent. Because this is just going to be the base layer. I'm going to grab a glove real quick. Just one. I'm going to spread that out. And darken it up a little bit. So I'm just going to put my gems that I'm starting with in. And then we'll finesse our knives into position. I don't like over-the-top toppers. Some people like them huge. If you've been with me a while, you know I just like a little something. I don't want you to have an 18-inch tall straw to get out of the lid. And I feel like the smaller they are, the less likely they are to like fall apart or anything. So I'm going to drip some of this darker over the top. And this is setting up quickly, so. Okay, so I'm going to pick a spot for my cleaver. Clear's gonna want to lay down. So I may have to just prop that up a little bit with something. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit and dry. When this is done, I'm going to put a a clear coat over it. And I'm going to kind of make sure the handles are fully coated and all of that. So, because I don't want any of the paint or anything off the handles coming off, if that makes sense. So, I'm just going to let this sit, and we'll see where they are when I come back. Okay, so I am ready to put the clear coat on the lid, and then we're going to mix up the red for the drip. So, I'm just going to pour a little bit right down the handle on both of these. And I'm just going to spread that around. And I do want to get this, because this is almost like a vinyl, like a DTF kind of printing on these knives. And I certainly don't want that washing off. The little rocks, I'm not terribly concerned with resealing because they're coated really well already. Just trying to get in any little nook and cranny where there might be some printing that needs to be covered. I'm just putting a little bit around the stones just to make sure they're all really well locked in. Again, washability, durability. Just kind of poking them, making sure nothing feels loose. So that's all I have to do for that. that can sit and just finish drying. And I'm going to mix up my red and then let this thicken. That was like 12-ish drops to start. We'll see where that takes us. And then this becomes a little bit of a waiting game because this has to thicken up so it doesn't run all over the cup. But this is such a fast set that I'm going to have a very small window of workability. I don't really mind on this particular cup how far it runs down the back. I just want to kind of try and keep them short around the text, even though the text will probably show up through because it's a black. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully this doesn't seize up too bad. I was going to use that, but I think I'm going to have to switch to a popsicle stick. To start. Dripping on my table. I've never used this dye for the drip before, so kind of a learning curve, I guess. And it's getting a little spidery on me. Okay, so we're not going to get long drips with this, but I am okay with that because I kind of wanted it chunkier, bloodier, congealed, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to hit it with the torch real quick. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, sitting like this, and let the lid dry. And we're going to come back and put this on the turner, put another coat of epoxy on it, and take it from there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get a final coat on this. Okay, so this is dry. And here's how she's looking. There's our drip. Looks good. And our wrap, just very, very basic. So there's our cup, and here's our lid. Pull the little straws out. There is absolutely nothing in the hole. So that is perfect. And this looks perfectly good and coated the way we need it to be. So that'll just sit on top. So there we go. So that is it for this one. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time.